Could there be something that we can't see, but that we can feel, that is actually playing games with us? It's impacting the arena, the gladiator arena that is Earth. But just think about it purely from corporations and social media and ads. Just that alone. So if it happens there, why can't we take the leap? So with that, I want to tell you a story about cilantro. So one of the things that I'm struggling with in this journey, and this is why I'm starting these recordings and live streaming, and hope to build a community where I can start discussing this with you guys and start seeing what resonates, what doesn't, what clicked, what didn't, and start refining the process and start teaching it, like, just in every shape or form. Just find ways to communicate these messages. And if people want to reach out to me and have me explain it to them one-on-one, and then they can make something, please, for free, gladly, I will gladly do that for you. This message just needs to be spread far and wide. This needs to get to everyone. This needs to be explained. This needs to be understood. And here's the best part. You don't have to believe me, but what I just want you to do, and try it, experience it, see it, be like, wait a minute. I mean, that sounds super conspiracy, but I mean, actually, just give it a chance one day and just start paying attention. Just look at things like, wait a minute, how could they know that? Why did that show up? Actually, the heck? And you can say that targeted ads or things like that is cool, right? Like, hey, you want a new car? It's cool to get ads around a car, but just start thinking about it, start paying attention to it. Even something positive can lead to a lot of negatives. So the cilantro story. My brother has some kind of recessive gene or something of that nature where, according to him, when he eats cilantro, it tastes like soap to him. He doesn't enjoy the flavor. He doesn't like it. And to me, I can't comprehend that. I mean, cilantro is great, but it's not like it's my favorite thing in the world. But I'm just like, how does it taste like soap? Like, it literally does not taste that way for me at all. 0%. I cannot relate. It just is not real for me. It's not true. Yet when he tells me that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, wow, really? Man, that sucks. That's horrible. I'm like, oh gosh, I would hate that. Like, I know I've had sometimes accident, like maybe I didn't fully wash my hands well or something, and there's like a little bit of soap residue, and all of a sudden you eat something and you taste the soap, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It's not fun. I wouldn't like that either. So, but I believe him. I'm just like, yeah, that's possible. So if we believe that, if it's possible to believe that someone can literally eat the same food and it can taste completely different for them to a radical extreme, why can't we believe that there might be something just like that, a taste that we can't see or experience? Why can't there be spiritual entities, energies that literally are influencing the world around us that we can't see? Why is it that the cilantro logical story is believable, but the other one isn't? Why is it that, have you guys ever paid attention to the fact that there's certain topics that the moment you bring them up, what are the terms people throw around? Conspiracy theorist. Oh, schizophrenic. Oh, clearly something is wrong with you. Why wouldn't it instead be, hey, I'm actually curious why you think that? Why wouldn't it be a conversation? Why is it immediately an attack? Why is it immediately they silence it by just dismissing the credibility? Why do they attack the credibility? Why do they attack the person? Why not be like, well, wait a minute. Why do we think these people think this? To me, that's the most interesting part. Like, I'm just like, how many people that I saw in my entire life growing up that everyone told me they're messed up? What if they actually knew things, but since everyone around them told them that they're crazy, they actually ended up believing that they are crazy? What if they had figured it out? What if they knew? What if they realized like what's going on? What if they could see these spirits or these energies? But if everyone tells you that you're something, even if you're not, you might start believing them. So ask yourself, why would it be that the governments, the powers that be, the people who have influence would intentionally try to dismiss people, make people believe that they're crazy. Like, who does? Like, why? Like, would you ever do that to your sister or to your brother or to your parents? Like, even if you thought they were, you'd be like, no, you're not crazy. You just, maybe you've experienced a lot of things. You've gone through a lot. Like, you see, like, there's compassion there, there's empathy. Like, even if you don't believe, like, you're not going out there attacking. So ask yourself, why would they attack? Why wouldn't they be showing love? Why wouldn't they help? Why are our mental health institutes basically just literally prisons? They don't care about rehab and therapy and getting you into a good position. Not at all. It's just literally, you're just there so that you're out of the way from everyone else, so that there's no way that you can actually maybe open someone else's eyes to what's going on. That's what I believe. So think about that. We are willing to believe that, oh, this girl has celiac and she can't eat meat, or else she reacts that way, but I eat meat and nothing happens. So we're willing to believe that, but we can't believe that maybe there's an entity that can literally influence something right now around me. I know it's true. 100%. 100%. I would bet it on my son's life. And I'm going to discuss it a lot more down the road. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there so that people realize that this is not a joke. This is, World War III is already happening. And it's a spiritual war. And the sooner you come to accept that and realize that that's the case, the sooner you're going to be able to participate and start making a change and an impact. A lot is going to change in this world very, very quickly. Now that exposure is happening at a mass level. There's a reason why awakening and things, I mean, pay attention, like, how many weird things have been happening around you? And weird being like just anything, I call it, pay attention to differences. Pay attention to differences. So if you have your mugs lined up perfectly and you know how you lined them up, and yet one moved, like all of a sudden you come home one day and it's different. And you're like, what happened? Did someone break in? Wind? Just doesn't mean it's anything negative, but pay attention to differences. Be open to it, and you're not inviting negative things in. You're not denying things. You're just open-minded. Literally, like, why do you think those fictional books, Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, it's all the same thing? They're like, well, once they become adults, they stop believing, they can't see it anymore. There's a reason for that. It's true. We're literally indoctrinated to fully believe in logic. And ask yourself, why is it that we're pushed to just logic and wave everything away? It's like, oh, there's no way. I used to be the most logical person. I used to literally believe that I wasn't religious. I wasn't anything. Like, it was just pure facts. And I'm like, everything that I accomplished was my own doing and my own actions. And here I am. And I'm not here to convince you. I want you to be prepared for what's going down and what's going to happen, and it's going to keep escalating. And as more things get exposed, they're going to ramp up their attacks out of desperation. So, and if you're not ready for it, you're going to be a victim. Don't be a victim. What if those things that Mexican kid saw, the tooth in the newspaper, were an illusion? An illusion being, it wasn't supposed to be there. Now, you could say that it might not even be real. Like, literally, you touch it, and your hand goes through it. Like, that's a possibility. I don't know. Like, I'm not encouraging you to touch these things, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they can be manifested physically. But if it wasn't supposed to be there, could you say it's an illusion? If literally, I know that my wife hates spiders. I collect some outside, some dead corpses, and I start just placing them on the floor. Every night before I go to bed after her, and I start placing them on the floor. Boom, 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 boom. And you start seeing them every morning, and I'm just like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? Why are you waking me up? Why are you screaming? And she's like, spiders. I know that I placed them there. She doesn't. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why do we have so many spiders? Now you can say that I'm an asshole for doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Why did I do that? But think about that. So if I can do that, that's an illusion. It wasn't real. It was fabricated. It was placed there. That, the sooner you can come to accept that there are things influencing us to that level, fabricated placements of things, of events, of situations, and it could be literally spiritual, and it can be just people around you. Once you are willing to accept that, everything changes. All of a sudden, things make sense. Would you live a normal life if you aren't normal? If you could see these spiritual entities, let's just say, would you live a regular life? If you realize that money is energy and it's just feeding a dark entity, or like the president of the company or things of that nature, would you continue operating in that system, in that game? Would you do so to blend in? Why? For who? For what? So that the Dark One and his Posey don't go after you? What if we all just said, screw it? What are they going to do? If no one worked anymore for these human ranches, these companies that treat us like slaves, what are they going to do? I know the argument is there's always going to be someone who doesn't value themselves, who doesn't have self-worth, who's willing to eat crap and work for the worst pay. But like, hypothetically speaking, let's say even them. Let's say we had a group of people that like tackled them. They're about to like hand in their resume and like apply in person, and we tackle them and we stop them. What would those corporations do? What would those companies do? How would they get energy now? What would they do? Ask yourself that. What if everyone stopped paying rent and mortgage tomorrow? That's it. No more. What if everyone stopped paying their credit card bills tomorrow? No more. Not a single dollar spent on any of that stuff. Money, no more. How fast would the system break if everyone just collectively said, no more? And I ask you something. If a system can break that easily, is it a well-designed system? What do you guys think? There's a saying from Kant philosophy about maxims, which is basically, think of it as like a law or a rule. If you make something a maxim, if you make it a rule, it has to pass a certain test. Can you apply it to everyone? And if you do, does it hold true? If not, does it break? So for example, if you allow some people, let's say the rule is everyone has to keep their promises, but then you add in a caveat where it's like some people can break their promises. Okay, sure, yep, I get it, right? Like, hey, something came up, my son got sick, so I promised you I was going to be there for the move to help you move tonight, but I can't, right? I don't think anyone would fault a father for doing that. But he broke his promise. He literally said, I'll promise you. So what happens then if 1 billion people, 1 billion dads broke their promise that day? Promises don't mean a lot then. They literally lose a lot of their meaning. And that's something that we have to think about, right? And this is something that I struggled with. It's like, if you're raised to believe that you should always tell the truth, except if it hurts others, right? At what point do you know when it's hurting someone? So right now, like, am I hurting someone by talking about this stuff? Probably. The dark ones, the dark people, they're not going to be happy. They're going to suppress this. But there's going to be people that are going to help me. That are going to spread this. That are going to spread this message. And if you hear this, and it doesn't matter, I don't need viewers or people to engage with this, but if you capture this message, if you get anything, spread it as far as possible, just so that people can start debating it and start contemplating it. But it just comes down to this, right?